But we're going to start with the other semi-final, the one between Stephen Hendry and Jimmy White, the match that's provided the final 4 years out of the last 5. If you were watching earlier, you'd have seen Jimmy White win 3 frames in a row to close in again, just 2 frames behind. Here's the next they play, frame 27, and it's Hendry, 2 frames up to break. So he needs 2 more. And Dennis Taylor and Ted Lowe will be commentating on this one.
One.
Well, Stephen Hendry didn't hold back there. The pink and black were tied up. He's freed the pink.
Seven.
He's had the mid-session interval to think about the 3 frames he lost. He'll be starting afresh. Those 3 frames wiped from his mind.
Thirteen. Eighteen. 19. $24.
Taking the more difficult red for position.
$25. $30. $31.
bringing the pink into play now.
Just depends whether the pink spot's covered. Just enough room for it.
37.
Stephen Hendry does look very determined again. I think the interval came just at the right time for Stephen.
Now Dennis has that pink cover the pocket. Oh no.
$44.
A wry smile on the face of Jimmy White. He would so dearly love to win this title.
Yes, Ted, and if it hadn't been for this gentleman at the table, I think Jimmy White would have been world champion 2 or 3 times. Stephen Hendry's beaten him in 3 finals.
51.
This is the man they've all got to beat.
$57. 58.
Just the one
64.
red for Stephen. And he only had half a chance at the start of this break, and he hasn't put a foot wrong.
He's aware now that he's going to drop back to 3 frames adrift. The world's #1 star going one step nearer victory and a place in the final of this year's Embassy World Championship.
72. Stephen Hendry and the frame.
Jimmy concedes. Stephen Hendry leading 15 frames to 12. He wants just one more. And it's do or die for the Londoner known as the Whirlwind. Now needs to win all frames left.
Well, what a brave shot Jimmy White's taking on here. He's taking the red to the left middle pocket. If this goes in, what a shot. That was a big shot. He was leaving the red over the corner pocket.
This is Jimmy's shot.
Probably the only player in the game that would have taken that on, Ted.
Yeah, I agree, Dennis. But Jimmy is a fantastic sportsman.
Six.
A little bit of work to do with the cue ball here. Can always run astray. It's rolling up behind the yellow.
7, Stephen Hendry.
Stephen Hendry, the man of the moment, defying everything that's ever been said about the game. So far, all players that have made the maximum break of 147 have been beaten. He's out to prove that he can overcome that.
1.
He only needed one chance to win the previous frame. And they were a lot more difficult than this.
7.
Going to be struggling from here.
Yellow ball.
A lot of players would have played safe there.
10.
The red next to the pink.
11.
And it looks like another yellow.
$13.
Jimmy watching every move. Each move being like a dagger going into the heart. Wonders if he'll ever get back to the table.
$21.
The last time Stephen Hendry lost a match at the Crucible Theatre here in this championship was in the quarterfinals of the 1991 championship. They're thinking it all out and admiring what they're looking at.
$29.
It's a clever little shot to cannon onto the pink. It frees the red into the left corner pocket. That's a couple of shots away. You usually say the most difficult frame to win is the one to win a match, but with Stephen Hendry, he's done it so many times. It's like a formality for this man.
$37. 38.
This is the shot, the next one. If he pots the black and opens the red, it could be all over.
And Jimmy wishes, I'm sure, that he was born in another era.
$45. $46.
Got a bit of work to do now. A quick glance at the scoreboard. If he takes the pink, he'll be 59 in front. Still enough on the table for Jimmy White. Needs one more red.
52. $53.
And that's the ball that creates yet another record. 19 consecutive wins in matches at the Crucible Theatre.
And for another year, Jimmy will be called the greatest player never to win the Embassy World Championship.
Oh, a terrific pot there. I am sure now Jimmy will not even bother except to come to the table and shake the hand of the world's #1 star.
67. $68.
He likes to do everything in style. Is he going to go out with a century break?
He's won this Embassy Championship for the past 3 years. And is again into the final.
$82. 83. $86. $88.
It really is quite extraordinary. Stephen Hendry has made most of the centuries in this year's championship. I believe this is 9. I've almost lost count.
95.
One can't forget, of course, the maximum yesterday.
100.
And they go crowding, they go mad in the audience as Stephen Hendry turns round to Jimmy White. They both have a smile, but it's Hendry in the final with victory at 16 frames to 12.
The first frame of the tonight's session was a big one, and I won it to go 14-9. And, you know, then I really started to think about, you know, that I'd well, almost won the match and had to follow the line. But then Jimmy started coming back at me, and you know, as only Jimmy can, you know, he just doesn't know when to give up.
He's such a fantastic curse, you know. If you don't punish him when he misses, because he very rarely misses, if you don't punish him, he just destroys you, you know.
I'm very confident, but I would have been confident whoever was in the other chair. You know, I'm playing very well. You know, it's great to be in another final, and you know, I can't wait to get started.
Make no mistake, you know, I'm going to work hard next year. I'll be back.
And as ever, he'll get a tremendous welcome when he does reappear here next year.